talking franchises here, bud.
All right, another day, another not making money. D Train over here, Daniel Ehrenberg. We're still talking Unisols here on the franchise, and but it's the last week of it, so God bless. And over there, Logan Beadair. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, hey guys, I don't have anything fun to say.
No, listen. Ross Beck had us do the ultimate Universal Soldier franchise, and I gotta say, this franchise is a fucking dud.
And it was hyped up like we're gonna end good. And every review is like these last two are great movies, and I didn't really get it.
I saw like a good like actual reviewers had this on their like top 10 list at the end of the year. The sixth one, what's this one called?
Day of Reckoning.
Day of Reckoning. And everyone's comparing it to like David Lynch and Michael Haneke and stuff. And like that sounds like a movie I want to watch. And I watched it last night, and that wasn't the movie I watched.
Yeah, I don't understand. But maybe in our talk we'll come to love it.
It won't happen. Maybe if Ross was here, he could convince us, but
maybe he left a thing. I don't know.
He probably did. Yeah, that'll be worth hearing from. But listen, we're about to shit all over this whole franchise, and I'm
no,
so
we're not.
sorry.
I don't even have the energy to do that anymore. I don't even care.
I don't really care either. Like, remember, like in the around the time of like the directed TV ones, I was still like really close, keeping track of continuity, making sure everything fits. I was like, oh, that's in the wrong leg. That's on the wrong eye.
Right.
By this point, like, who cares?
Yeah, I feel bad just saying I don't care, but it's really the truth. I couldn't possibly care less if I tried. That's just me being honest.
That's where I'm at too, man. I just don't get. Maybe they were too hyped. I don't know.
Every movie, Tim was right. He called it week one. Every movie ends where like the people that died in that movie are just brought back, and it's like, what the fuck? What? Who even cares?
We've killed Dolph Lundgren like literally 5 times.
Yeah, but he's also my favorite part of every movie he's in, so I don't care.
He's definitely my MVP in the last one.
I think probably both of them.
JCVD.
I'm not a JCVD. I don't get JCVD really.
Yeah, well, of course you don't, because you're watching him in the Universal Soldier franchise.
But if you think you would like him here if you'd only seen these, like you're talking about,
no,
like he's okay.
No, I don't. I like him because I've already seen Time Cop and Hard Target.
Okay, yeah, I feel like I'm missing something, and I
you
guess
are
because I am.
Yes, yeah. It makes a lot of sense. If you watch JCVD, the movie today, you wouldn't have been moved by that monologue I was moved by because you haven't been through it with him.
No, you're right.
There you go. All right, let's get through it, guys. So these two, the 5th and 6th Universal Soldier, they were both directed by John Hyams. Okay. Mm-hmm. And if you're saying Hyams, that name sounds familiar. Didn't you cover a guy named Peter Hyams when you did 2010, the sequel to 2001: A Space Odyssey? I would say, yes, that's true. This is his fucking shitty Nepo baby son.
But Peter's on set every day shooting it.
Yeah, right? Yep. Yeah, I mean, he's not even directing it by himself. Like, we talk a lot about like how some Nepo baby directors like, oh, they do a little TV, some music videos before they get into it. Like that Ridley Scott's son guy.
And M. Night's daughter.
Yeah. But like this dude straight up has his dad DPing his own movies.
Dad's on the camera.
And Peter Hyams is famous for having been the director of photography on all of his own movies. All right. So he's
a pro.
He's a total pro. So like I'm watching these things. The only reason they look as good as they do, and frankly, they only look good sometimes. The second one looked better than the first one, is because of this fucking the dad.
I mean, the movie felt like it was saved in the editing as much as like quote unquote saved. It's terrible, I think. But I don't think it's that well done. The action, like he's not that good at shooting action. I don't think.
I kind of agree. Like, I mean, there are fights in this movie you're supposed to be wowed by, and it's like
Sometimes it's okay. I don't want to,
but it's like not even as good as like the third best match on an average episode of Raw.
Yeah, I haven't watched Raw in years, but yeah.
All right. Now, hey, we have a little time for this John Hyams guy, though, because he did direct that Sick movie that Kevin Williamson wrote.
That's
but
right.
again, legend Kevin Williamson got writing the script for him.
But it is well directed. There are some awesome chase scenes in that movie.
I'm with you, man. I'm all right with this guy, but like these didn't impress me.
No, me neither.
All right. So this first one is written by. This is, by the way, called Universal Soldier Regeneration.
Right.
Regeneration X.
Regeneration could be the name of any of them, though.
Yeah,
really,
you know what I have to say to John Hyams? Suck it.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. No, you're right. It could be the title of it. They're just regenerated constantly. You know what I missed a lot in these last two? Ice baths.
Yeah, I feel like we mentioned it once, like you're getting cold. And that's it. Like we never saw an ice bath though.
Yeah, I need to see
freezer. We never.
Although you know what I am thankful for. Remember in the first one, they were all wearing towels on their laps during the memory wipes, and I was like, we're never going to see Dick in these movies. We saw Dick.
One of them, yeah.
Yeah,
it was a big one too.
It was a big old. It was a BBC baby.
I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. All right.
And he got shot off, I'm pretty sure, like off screen. Like you can see him, like he shoots the guy and then he like lowers the gun, I'm pretty sure.
Jesus.
And he shoots his peen off.
Well, that New Reckoning, Day of Reckoning, it's pretty merciless with the violence.
A lot of nudity in one of them. I think it's that one.
It's that one, yeah. That one goes hard in the
It really does. Yeah.
All right, so this first one, directed by John Hyams. The writers is fellow Victor Ostrovsky, who's a bit of a lightning rod for controversy. He was an Israeli spy in the 80s, and he wrote books about it, and a lot of people have accused them of being falsified.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So he's sort of like the A Million Little Things guy.
I thought you were going to say the guy from Saw 6, or Saw 7, I mean.
Well, I don't remember what you're talking about.
He faked that he was in a saw trap, and then he gets really put in a saw trap for lying.
Oh, yeah. That was good. But no, you remember A Million Little Things?
I never saw that, no.
I mean, whatever. It was based on you're remembering in the movie?
I mean, I don't even know what you're talking about. So,
all right. No. A Million Little Things was a book that was like all about this guy's like recovery from like drugs and alcohol, I think. And he went on Oprah to talk about his recovery process. And then it came out that none of the things in the book happened to him. It was all fiction, Logan.
Wow.
And then he had to go back on Oprah and like cry about it.
He wrote it intentionally, like trying to trick people?
Yeah, he called it a memoir, but it wasn't. It was a novel.
Wow. You'd think that would happen more often, honestly. People just like lying, making up a fake story.
It's sort of like that dude from The League. What was that guy's name?
Paul Scheer.
No, not Paul Scheer.
Jason Mantzoukas.
You do know a lot of people from The League. Congrats to you.
Only the ones from How Did This Get Made, though.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. They're both doing that. No, his
Nick
name
Kroll.
is. It's not Steve Ranazizi.
Oh, okay.
You know that guy?
Yeah.
He lied that he was in 9/11, or he was like he was in the towers on 9/11 and got out, something like that. And then it turned out that never happened.
Well, it's so stupid. Like, what's the goal?
It's like me when I was in elementary school and I lied that I was moving. Remember? And people bought me going away presents, but I wasn't actually.
It's like
they just want attention.
In Max Keeble, he gets told he's moving by his parents, so he says he's moving, but then he actually doesn't move. But he doesn't lie intentionally.
Right. See, he thinks he's having a big move.
Right, but he really didn't.
And a big movie.
Yeah, it was a big movie. It's one of my favorites. My Google's is me name. I like a swampy bog.
Good job. I remember not hating that.
Yeah, it's one of the better
We Love Kids movies. Yeah. Patreon.com/thefranchise, only $5 to subscribe. All right, so you got Nepo Boy and Fake Spy. They made this movie.
Pretty good.
Yep. It came out February 2nd, 2010 on a budget of $9 million.
It's a lot of cash.
And yeah, it's on Wikipedia it says the gross was only $844,000, but I think that's just the theatrical gross because it was released overseas a little bit theatrically. It must have done really well on DVD and streaming because they made a sequel.
Yeah. You couldn't have lost $9 million.
Yeah, right. They can't just throw away $9 million. They go like, let's let John Hyams make another one.
Yeah, so had to make money somehow.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about it.
All right. This was a good one. I was so bored by the like whole kidnapping thing.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't sure why I should care.
Well, you shouldn't. It's the thing.
It's like some rich politician's daughter gets kidnapped and
She's kind of cute.
Yeah, she was. Fair enough.
I guess care for that reason.
And then she was held at Chernobyl with a bunch of people. Now, as you know, this is probably my kryptonite here. I have no interest in Chernobyl.
Yeah, you never even saw Chernobyl Diaries.
I never bothered
Jesse McCartney.
I never watched that. I never bothered to watch the Chernobyl HBO series. For some reason, my brain does not want to know about Chernobyl.
Do you think it didn't happen? Like it's
no,
not real?
It definitely happened, and it's probably interesting. And if I watched that HBO thing, I think I'd probably get into it. But as it stands, my brain and Chernobyl are not friends.
It's not even on any kind of list of shows like you want to watch?
I think I have it on a list somewhere.
Okay. All right. So you're not ignoring it. It's it's out there.
I know it's out there. I know people say it's good. I remember it like really swept the Emmys that year in the miniseries categories.
Okay. Good for them.
Yeah. All right, but here they're in Chernobyl, and the kidnappers are a scientist guy who I liked. He's my MVP of the movie.
Dr. Colin, I liked him too.
Yeah, he was good and smarmy. And then also, what's this fella's name?
Who, our main guy?
Yeah, no. The
NGU?
Yes.
Andrei Arlovsky, the actor?
I think MGU is the name of that kid that Jack Nicholson writes letters to in about Schmidt. In Nugu. All right, so that guy's Andrei Arlovsky, and he's going to be in both of these movies we're covering today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better in the second one, I thought. When he had a beard.
Yeah.
I almost didn't recognize him, honestly. I didn't know it was him.
I didn't recognize him either. And here's the thing. This man, if you measured charisma on a scale, like you had like a PKE meter from Ghostbusters, and you could hold it up to somebody to tell you how much charisma they had, this would break the scale with how
you go through the roof with how much midichlorian. He's like Anakin Skywalker with his midichlorians.
No. This guy, like you'd be like, is this working? Is this meter on?
Disagree. Nah, completely. Especially in the first one, I was like appreciating. I was totally right about Dolph Lundgren, like how amazing Dolph Lundgren is watching that one. But then he did get better in the next one.
Listen,
so I'm not talking too much.
I found this guy so boring. Like I could have seen him on the street seconds after watching this movie, and I wouldn't have recognized him.
Were you Kiki Palmer?
I do not know this man. I'm sorry. But he like at the end of the movie, there like he dies, of course, and then there's a scene where you see like a million of him.
No, that was the other guy.
No, who?
That was the good guy who he stabs.
You see, I'm telling
Kevin
you,
Burke.
I don't even know what this guy looks like, and I just watched him in 2 movies. He's like, so this fella, he's an MMA fighter. I looked him up. All right, well, I don't care about the other guy. Okay, I barely even remember him being in the movie. This guy's in both of these. Andrei Arlovsky. He's known as the Pitbull, and he is a UFC guy. And he was a UFC guy before this movie, and then they made these movies, and then he went back to UFC guy. And
Why is that a
I
problem?
just, it's not a
Goldberg didn't
problem.
become an actor after the movie.
He just brings nothing to the table. Like I watched that Roadhouse remake this year, and I remember saying like Conor McGregor, this guy is not an actor. All right, Conor McGregor has more charisma in his fucking pinky finger than this guy has in his whole body.
Yeah, I actually didn't think about the Conor McGregor thing, but he was way better and way more committed
And he
to the
sucks.
action. I really didn't. I didn't think he. I remember I didn't think he sucked as much as you did. I don't think, but he was way better than this guy.
This
They
guy
should fight each other.
Maybe they have.
This guy's got to be old at this point.
Well, yeah. I mean, right? These were in 2010 and 2012.
Yeah, so he's probably like 40 by now.
What? This guy isn't 40 when they're making these movies?
Oh, I assumed he was like his mid 20s. He's like a big
What?
fighter. I assumed he was like 27 or something.
I'm gonna look him up right now. He's 45 currently.
All right, so I feel like I was kind of right. 27.
Oh, he's on American Top Team. I know them from AEW.
That's cool.
It's not that cool.
I think it is.
And he had a small role in The Equalizer too. I saw him there. Didn't recognize him, of course.
No.
I mean, what are we doing?
I don't know what we're doing. But
I just looked him up, and he was on a UFC pay-per-view called Day of Reckoning that came out 3 years before the Day of Reckoning Universal Soldier movie. Do you think they ripped
What
that
is
off
that?
from a UFC pay-per-view?
it's possible. I don't even care enough to think about it. I think it's possible.
All right. So this movie, it's a kidnap at Chernobyl. That's the plot. And then you got JCVD. He's like trying to be re-entered into society by
That's right.
this like psychologist lady who has him living in like a log cabin.
I feared she might die, but I didn't. I don't think she did. Right.
I was hoping she'd come back in the second one, but no dice.
But I thought it would be like, the thing from Deep Blue Sea, like the woman trying to cure Alzheimer's, like sacrifices herself to the sharks at the end. I thought it'd be kind of like that. Like she has to like let Luke Devereaux kill her or some bullshit. But I don't think that happened. Maybe it
What's
did.
better? What's better, the Deep Blue Sea sequels or these?
I only saw the second one. Definitely some of these are better, right?
Some of these are.
I don't know.
I don't know
never
how
saw the
many
third
though.
one. I don't know. Probably only one or two of them.
Anyway, so hey, you'll like this movie if you really liked that era of action movies where everything was shot very dark in a blue tint and using a lot of handheld cameras.
And slow motion. We love to use slow motion also.
Yeah, it's like that post-Born Casino Royale era where every action movie looked exactly the same.
Yeah, I don't love it.
I don't either.
Like the Expendables era.
The Expendables era, yeah. And all these, at least those were fun. I mean, I only saw the first one. But
Yeah.
like they also like, I feel like all of these are shot in Eastern Europe. These like straight to DV action movies. So like they're always just running around in snow.
It's true. I saw somebody's review was like they actually gave, I think, this fifth one a positive for that. Like they dealt with like the prime minister and stuff.
Yeah, I read one like someone said like they used the setting, like the average, regular setting of all these DV movies, but in like a way that services the plot because they're in Chernobyl.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess.
Yeah, that's a way to look at it. I don't disagree with it.
I mean, I wish I was that optimistic.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice take on it though.
Yeah. Anyway, Jean-Claude, I don't know. He's not really bringing much to the table here because he doesn't have his memories. Like I feel like he could be a different character in every single one of these.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. There's no like continuity thread.
There's no character continuity. I think what we liked about the first one, so much. Remember how high we were on the first one?
I almost gave it a 5. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. We liked like the it had like concepts and things to say, but
And the
more than
direction
anything,
was amazing.
yeah, rolling, baby. But it's got like character growth. You know, like there are real character arcs in that movie. And I don't think there's a single fucking character arc in any subsequent movie.
No.
I think those the movie channel TV movies did more with the characters.
I think so too. Honestly, I like watching these might not be as bad maybe as those like the third and fourth one. But I kind of longed for the days of the Brothers in Arms. I got to be honest.
These are better made, but I was at least invested in what was happening in those movies.
Yeah, those had more interesting scripts, and I think they were kind of more creatively directed, honestly. But
Bring back Peter Lenkov.
sure, that's what I've been saying for years.
Yeah. Well, we shouldn't say that. I think he might be a sex pest.
Oh, sure.
Anyway, but what are we anything else to say?
There's got to be some stuff, right? Cool ending. We like the shotgun through the pipe. That was cool.
Oh, that was cool. I'll give you that.
I
That
don't
was
think
a
I've
good
seen
death.
that really.
I mean,
before.
but every time like someone gets a cool death like that, I'm like, well, they'll be able to
Yeah.
regenerate him.
Exactly. Doesn't fucking matter.
And they do. He's back in the next one.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just mostly so bored.
Me too. You know, and I gotta say, I was a little under the weather yesterday, and I was watching this first one, and I was like, oh, this sucks. I wonder if it's because it's probably because I'm a little under the weather, right? Like I'm not as into this as I should be. And then like I was feeling a lot better later in the day by the time I watched the sixth one. And like the Rangers had lost, so I was a little down. I was like ready for a pick me up. And I felt pretty much the same way.
This was not the answer.
No.
Yeah, that's tough. Everybody comment and say sorry to Daniel that the Rangers lost.
Hey, we're still in it.
But hopefully by now they won. They've moved on to the next round.
The next game's not till Thursday, so people might listen to this before that.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got? Anything?
I really know. I don't know.
Come on.
I feel like that's it. I didn't like this one actor.
Oh,
Corey Johnson. He's like one of he's like Colonel John Kobe. He's like fifth build in the movie.
all right. Hang on. I'm looking it up.
He's just like one of the military expert
Corey.
guys.
All right, and you really didn't like him as an actor?
No,
huh?
really didn't like him.
All right. Yeah, I guess I didn't really notice him.
Also, there's this guy Gary Cooper.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. His name's Gary Cooper. I thought he was pretty good though.
I don't feel like I remembered him that much.
He's like a doctor guy. He's the one that's all like, "You gotta get jean-claude back."
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and they do, and it's whatever. Dolph Lundgren shows up. He's
that
fun.
was awesome.
Yeah, I have a question. Why are they aging?
Well, that's like with anything, right?
But you mean like vampires and Buffy and shit? Like, but
yeah, or Better Call Saul. Why are they older than
it's
they were
weird? Like, what? Like they want to bring in a Universal Soldier to fight. You know the Nagoo, but they bring in Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's like in his 50s now. Bring in a more sprightly young Universal Soldier.
But we can't get Jean-Claude or Dolph Lundgren that way, and Jean-Claude Van Damme that way.
Why are we still regenerating these two?
You'd be fine if we moved on.
They're over the hill.
All right.
Listen,
some people love that. They love
I'm
the Terminator movies where Arnold comes back and stuff. You know.
I think it's weird. I've always thought that's weird. Like, it's not like I don't want to see Schwarzenegger or Jean-Claude or Dolph Lundgren. I know why they're doing this, like, you know, to get people to buy the DVD or whatever. But it doesn't make sense in the world of the movie.
Yeah, I agree with you. Honestly, I didn't even think about it.
It would almost make more sense for Jean-Claude Van Damme to do any other sequel to any other one of his movies than this one.
And this is the one he did over and over and over.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. Anyway, hey, you know, Peter Hyams, this dude's dad, he directed 2 Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
Which ones?
Time Cop, which is the best one.
Is that
And
Donald's favorite? Donald Trump?
no, he likes Bloodsport.
Okay.
No, Time Cop is incredible, man. You that's the one to watch. You'll get Jean-Claude after that.
Okay.
And then he also directed Sudden Death, which is hilarious. That's sort of Die Hard at the Stanley Cup Finals.
That sounds great.
Yeah. There's like a terrorists in the arena, and it's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and Jean-Claude's got to stop it during the game, bro. And it culminates in him being the goalie on one of the teams.
Remember Die Hard at Mega Mountain? Three
Oh
Ninjas
yeah, Three
4?
Ninjas 4. That was good stuff with
Hulk.
Hogan. Yeah.
That's right. I feel like there were like 5 people in that cast. I was
Lonnie
like, what the
Anderson.
fuck?
I remember Lonnie Anderson.
Yeah, that was a weird movie.
Hmm.
Anyway, so
Whose
NBA
ex-husband Burt Reynolds touched the Universal Soldier franchise.
Wow.
All right, that's a fun fact, right?
They probably had an ugly relationship.
Oh, dude.
That does not seem good.
I don't feel like Burt Reynolds was very good to women.
I feel that like you're right.
Yeah.
So ones, 2, I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like they're 1. I feel like if I gave him a 2, I would just be doing it to like
I
not
know.
be mean to Ross or
It
any listeners
would be
that
a
like it.
gentleman's 2. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give this one a 1. And I'm going to go ahead and give the next one a 2.
I like that.
I think the next one earns it more.
All right, we'll do that. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Next one, I saw like the 4s. We got a bunch of 4s.
I know. People fucking love this movie.
Yeah, wild stuff. But MVP, we're going to go Dr. Colin? We like Dr. Colin.
Yeah, he was smarmy. They had like a bunch of scenes. Do you remember here's the best scene in the entire movie. You ready?
Yeah.
It was the good bad guy. You know what I mean?
Too many
the one who
fucking
was
people.
regenerated at
Too
the
many
end.
sides. Yeah.
He's like talking to the prisoners, like the hostages. And the smarmy scientist guy comes in and he's like, oh, a little Stockholm syndrome going on over here.
Yeah.
And he starts just like shitting on them and like being like, it's not always the guy that seems like he's in charge. It's not the guy that's talking constantly. It's the guy in the background. And he's talking about himself. I was like, all right, that seems something.
Yeah, I agree. That was probably one of the best scenes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give that guy my MVP.
I agree. Dr. Colin. The actor is Carrie Shale. So check him out.
The great Carrie Shale. Look for him in other.
He was an Angel Has Fallen. So we covered him once.
He's been in a ton of shit. I'm looking at his Wikipedia page. He was in The Trip. He was in multiple Trip movies. I wonder if he played like Steve Coogan's agent or something.
I don't know. It's possible.
Wild shit. He was in Labyrinth, Superman 4. We've covered him multiple times.
There's a lot of like Thomas the Tank Engine animations.
Yeah, I see that. Maybe he's the voice of one of them.
I don't know.
I bet he is. I'm gonna look that up right now. Carrie Shale. Wow.
All right.
He plays like many characters in Thomas the Tank.
Yeah, Henry. He played guy Henry.
Gordon.
I didn't know there were so many characters.
I didn't either.
But no, he didn't play Thomas. I don't think.
All I remember is Thomas and Percy.
Well, I don't know.
All right.
But
and the narrator. Do you remember in the live action Thomas the Tank Engine? Alec Baldwin played like the conductor.
Nope.
Well, I do.
Okay. I didn't know. I don't. What do you mean live action?
They made like an actual. I know they're all live action or whatever, but they made one with like money that like came out in theaters and shit.
No, I don't even know about this.
This is like late 90s. They were doing this with a lot of shit. There was also a Barney movie that came out in theaters. Probably some other shit.
Wasn't there Clifford the Big Red Dog like recently?
Yeah, they filmed a car chase for that movie on my block in Brooklyn.
Right. 2021 that came out.
Yeah. I looked out and I was like, whoa, what the fuck's happening out here? And it turned out it wasn't a real. I thought it was like cops and shit, but it wasn't. It was the Clifford.
Did you never watch Curiosity? Never got the best of you to watch that
Not
movie?
yet, but I feel like I will before I die. Like I feel
You
a
don't know
little.
that. You could die today
That's a good point, man. Maybe I gotta watch it right after this
before you leave the
podcast.
house and risk death.
Yeah. No, I've been feeling a little longing for New York because I watched Annie Hall the other day, and you know, maybe that'll satiate that because I'll get to see my old block.
What if it's cut from the movie? You watch it and it's not even in the movie.
Oh my god, what a waste of time that would be.
That'd be
It
so
was a
funny.
car chase, though. It's got to be in there. They're not
Yeah.
cutting a car chase.
Right. Ghostbusters opens with the car chase.
Good point. Where they're fighting the sewer monster of Hell's Kitchen.
Exactly. And that's where McKenna gets banned because she's a minor.
Yeah, check out our Ghostbusters Frozen
Ugh.
Empire episode.
Don't even waste your time.
Why?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Was it a bad episode?
No, it's just more. I just feel like I feel bad when I don't care so much. I love when I care about.
We
what
had
I'm
more.
talking about.
I cared about that. We had more to say about that than this.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, listen to that instead of this. No, listen to both. What am I talking about?
Stop putting people off the show.
I know. I know.
All right.
Next week will be good. We'll talk about something we like next week, right?
We'll see if it holds up. I liked him at the time.
Oh wow. All right. All right.
All right. Who's your LVP?
Andre Arlov, the Pitbull Arlov.
Me too. Me too.
Or the
Fuck
Bulldog.
that
What was
guy.
his name? The
The
Pitbull.
Pitbull.
Bulldog.
You got it.
Yeah.
Apparently
Mr.
he's-
305.
He's known for being very anti dog fighting, which that's a brave stance to take, I think,
Yeah.
because so many people are pro dog fighting.
Right. Let's name them. Michael Vick. What else do we That's all I can think of.
I think he's pretty anti these days.
He's got him in trouble.
Yeah, got him in pretty bad trouble. Ruined his entire career. All right. Let's talk about the next one, the sixth and final Unisol film.
You agree that guy LVP?
100%. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Fuck that guy. Hang on. I'm taking a break. I forgot to rank them, and it's a little bit of a difficult ranking.
Yeah, I don't really love the way I landed on it either, so I'll probably end up changing it.
All right, I just did it. I don't love it, but it's whatever. Okay. So the sixth one is called Universal Soldier: Day of Reckoning. I don't really know why. I come to think of it,
because of that WCW or that AEW
UFC.
thing.
It's UFC.
Whatever it was.
Damn
I'm
it.
sorry.
Um,
That must be it. I don't really know either.
I guess, is it the Day of Reckoning because the Universal Soldiers have turned against their creators?
Yeah, but I feel like that happens in every movie.
No, but it's like legit in this movie. I thought that was interesting. Like, there's an actual separatist group of Universal Soldiers that are like, going after I don't know. It's whatever.
And I kind of liked the ending because it played into what we've been talking about this whole time. How we're like, nothing freaking matters. Everyone comes back to life. And then the end, he like kills the guy. And then they just like bring out a clone of him. And it's kind of like they like nothing matters. Like everything just keeps going. And I was kind of like, all right, that's kind of cool. At least it's like kind of like talking about it. Like,
yeah,
it's
part
all
of the
cycle.
message of the movie is that nothing matters.
That was actually kind of good.
We've all like learned that nothing matters in this franchise, so let's lean into it.
Yeah, I felt like that. But
Yeah.
good job, I guess.
All right, so John Hyams, he's back to direct. The co-writer, he co-wrote this one as well. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
With Doug Magnuson, who's one of his cameramen.
Wow.
Which I thought was interesting. You get like the camera guy to help you write the movie, and then like you're thinking about the whole thing through the lens, right?
He might have just like had one idea and they got him the credit. They were like, all right, we'll give you the writing
I don't
credit.
know. Maybe he came up with the idea for the POV shit at the beginning.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then John Greenlaw.
Actually, I hated that.
Greenlaugh. You hated the POV thing?
It was so boringly
I thought it was
done.
the best thing in the movie.
I thought it was just like they just like filmed stuff. They didn't even have a plan, like where we're gonna shoot, how we're gonna shoot it.
No, it was like we're gonna go to every room, and then we end up in the kitchen, and there's monsters.
But it was lifeless, the whole thing.
Hey, listen, man, I was into it at first. My first note on this film is opens on some pretty cool POV. How about that?
I mean, POV is inherently cool.
I mean, it's not when it comes to porn. I avoid it
Right,
at all
you hate that.
costs. Yeah.
It's your least favorite.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I didn't like it.
Did
But
you
whatever.
know that this film was shot for 3D?
No, that's great.
I didn't realize it while I was watching the movie. The original title of this film was Universal Soldier: A New Dimension.
Uh, I, I kind of like that.
I kind of like it too. Um, and all right, this came out October 25th, 2012, on a budget of $8 million. They had $1 fewer million to make this,
Yeah, what happened?
and the box office gross was 1.4. But I think it's again a thing where it probably did all right on streaming and shit.
Well, they never made
Um,
another one. Who knows?
it's well, there's been a reboot in development since 2018.
And they never have shot anything.
No, no, it hasn't gone forward.
Okay, okay.
All right. So what do you got? It's
His wife and daughter are murdered.
and when we say his, it's not a character we've seen before, so we got to talk about this guy. And to me, this is the biggest problem with this movie.
This actor,
Yes.
Deadpool, original Deadpool.
What?
Isn't this guy? He did Deadpool in X-Men Origins. When it's not Ryan Reynolds, it's this guy.
It was Ryan Reynolds in X-Men Origins.
But like when it's not, when it's like the stunt double, it's like this
So
guy.
that's what you're telling me? He was the stunt double for Ryan Reynolds? That's his big.
Honestly, I'm like 99. I didn't actually look this up again, but I feel like that's what I know him from.
Oh, I guess you're right. At the end when he gets all bulky and shit.
Okay,
All
yeah.
right. So this guy Scott Adkins, he's an actor probably a lot of people know, but I don't really. But he's best known for like straight to DVD action movies. He's been doing those for years. He starred in a bunch of them. He got into one of those Expendables based on that. Uh, but like he doesn't really make legitimate movies except like as a stuntman. So like I never really came across him before. But there's dudes like Scott Adkins is one of these guys now where like the people that miss the days of like Seagal and Stallone and shit, they now watch Scott Adkins movies.
Wow, I didn't know he had this whole second life.
He does. Yeah, he's like a lead in a lot of big, they're not big, very tiny straight to streaming or straight to DVD action movies that involve like martial arts and shit.
He's in the worst part of I think the new John Wick movie. But when I say I think, I mean I know he's in the movie, but I think it's the worst part of the movie. Like John Wick goes and like plays cards against this fat like mob boss, and it's like it's this guy in like a ton of CGI or makeup or whatever.
There's kind of a fat mob boss in this.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe it was him again.
Could be. All right. So he's the lead. And I just like everything I said about Andrei Arlovsky, just multiply it by 1,000.
I don't know. I mean, I agree. I don't know. I didn't hate him though.
This guy is fucking nothing. The best thing you could say about him is he's better than the guy that played Luke in the TV ones.
But I was gonna say, but that guy's playing a Unisol, but this guy is too. He just doesn't know it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good excuse. Actually, he's playing he's a Unisol.
But like in the scenes, like the flashback stuff with his family, which are implanted memories, as we find out later in the movie, like he shouldn't be acting like that. He should have some sort of palpable emotion. And this guy is like, listen, Jean-Claude Van Damme is a Unisol in the first one, but we still want to follow that character's journey. Like this,
Well, we saw him at the beginning, like be the good guy taking on real
but we
bad
see
guy
him.
Dolph Lundgren.
But we see him in this one. We don't know it's a memory implant. We see his whole family get
Right.
murdered.
And you're saying you weren't on board even when you thought he was real.
No, I never cared about this character, and it's entirely because of the performance. This guy is just dull as dirt.
I mean, he is, but I didn't think the direction helped. I thought I felt it was so lifeless. Honestly, I feel like I'm boring myself the way I am bored by the movie. but it's true.
I felt a little bit to be found in the direction in this one.
And I agree. It was better than the last one. I do think they got it better.
It's definitely more ambitious.
But they didn't know how to direct this actor.
Well, no, but I don't think anybody could.
Yeah.
Like,
he felt it was his film on the
at the
it
end,
is kind of.
I read that they saw this as a little bit of a passing of the torch. Jean-Claude Van Damme passing the torch to Scott Adkins. And if Scott Adkins is the best that the next generation of action stars has, I don't know what to do. Stop making action movies.
Whatever happened? Why not Jason Statham? Give it him.
They couldn't get him to do something like this.
Hmm. Who is the new action star?
Gerard.
New.
They aren't it. They're all in their 40s.
I feel like Glenn Powell could try if he wasn't trying to do everything else, like be like the main man.
I feel like Krasinski tried for a second.
Yeah, 13 hours.
And the Jack Ryan show.
Yeah, he did try.
I don't know. It's not. See, the problem is these kinds of movies are only really being made for like streaming services at this point. So you're not going to attract the biggest actors. They're going to be Scott Adkins.
Right. The biggest action stars are Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves still, I guess.
Yeah, or like even look at that one like Red Notice or whatever. Like it's like Ryan Reynolds and Chris Evans and The Rock. Those are our action stars today.
Oh Jesus. We're in trouble.
I know. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
All right, but I mean, I'll take any of those guys over Scott Adkins.
Me too.
Any one of them.
I'll take their brothers and sisters. No.
Yeah, I agree. There was Jean-Claude Van Damme's son was in this movie, but I didn't catch him.
Me either.
Played a character named Miles.
I remember them saying the name Miles.
There you go. Well,
we just did the circle with Miles, so it was like top of mind a little bit.
Miles. I love Miles.
Your favorite?
Yeah, MVP of the circle this season.
Really?
Yeah.
I go with the winner. I don't want to spoil it.
Hashtag fax no printer.
Oh wow!
Thank you very much.
I hope he went on a date with QT, right?
I hope so too, man.
They had to
have. They must have. I think he thought he was gonna get a makeout sesh when he went to see her.
Remember when that happened in season 1? Somebody like got kicked out and they like made out with each other.
Really?
It might have been Joey, the winner of season 1. Spoiler alert. He made out with one of the women.
Hell yeah. Joey ruled.
It was crazy, yeah.
You know what's way better than the Universal Soldier franchise? The Circle franchise.
Any season of the Circle.
Yeah. All right.
Probably that Circle movie too with Emma Watson and Tom Hanks. That's probably better too.
I forgot about that.
And Circle, the horror film where they all stand in a circle and have to kill each other.
That movie's really stupid, but it's very watchable.
That. I think I made you watch that, and I'm watching here once.
Henry's a big fan of that movie.
Right, yeah. He gets it.
Host. But the Circle, that Emma Watson thing is based on a Dave Eggers novel. And I've read like Dave Eggers novels. He's good. That could be a good movie.
Let's check it out.
That could be a secret good movie, guys.
I heard it was bad. I heard it was really bad.
I heard it was bad too, and that's why I never watched it.
Maybe they're wrong. People are wrong.
Sometimes people loved this movie.
That's true.
Sometimes
maybe
people are wrong.
Maybe we're wrong. I don't know.
We're not. I'm telling you, we're not. Listen, there are people in their reviews comparing this shit to Michael Haneke. It's crazy. And I see why they're doing it. It's because this opening scene, this POV scene of him like walking through his like normal suburban home, right? And then finding masked men in his kitchen.
It's funny games.
It's funny games. That's what it is. That's why people are making that comparison. And dude, if you watch fucking Funny Games and you're like, oh, this is like Universal Soldier 6, I don't know what we're fucking doing with our lives.
I don't think people thought that. I don't think anyone's thinking
that. Anyway,
isn't it like Death Wish or whatever too?
No, that's more aggressive and shit. Like this is more like showing like everything is normal and suburban and dull, right? And then all of a sudden it gets upended,
Yeah, your life can go to hell like that.
right?
Yeah.
But
That's
then
why
it
In
turns
Cold
out
Blood
to
was
not
so
even be
scary to
real.
me.
Like it was my favorite part of the movie, like this POV part. And then like later in the movie, they're like, "Hey, guess what? Here's a twist. That shit didn't happen. You know how you care about that? You don't have to anymore." And I was like, "All right, fine."
Yeah. And the whole time I was watching this, I was like, well, I don't care if this guy dies, because even if he dies, he's going to be brought back as a Unisoul. And then it was like revealed he was already one. I was like, oh, so I
Yeah,
guess it
yeah.
double
The,
doesn't
the big
matter.
twist is like they're like, "You're a newborn. He's only been alive for 3 weeks."
Okay. All right.
And I was like, "All right." So like I care less than I did before I knew that information. Thanks.
Right. And in the last movie, a complaint I have about the last movie, which isn't their fault when they made that movie, but now I know there's another movie with Dolph Lundgren and JCVD. So when I was watching that one, I was like, well, even if they die, they're in the next movie. I know.
I
So
know.
it's just the whole thing with this franchise.
Hey, JCVD bald in this one.
Oh, I thought you meant cried. I thought you were like bald, like he cried.
No, no, no.
Yeah,
He
he's
has no
bald.
hair.
It's right. It's like Apocalypse Now. I feel like they were doing.
It. I thought I had the same thought, dude. It is. It's like
Kurtz.
Luke became Colonel Kurtz.
Yeah, it's
He
pretty
like
cool at
journeyed to the
face
end
paint.
of the universe. Yeah, yeah. I sort of like that kind of shit. Jean-Claude brings it,
Yeah.
but it's just whatever. So by the way, there are sleeper Universal Soldiers in this one.
I don't care about the sleeper Universal
No,
Soldiers.
but what I want to say is that concept was introduced in Universal Soldier 3, Unfinished Business, one
Right.
of the
Bill
TV
Clinton.
movies. So are we bringing that continuity into, because after they revealed there are sleeper Universal Soldiers in this, all I wanted was for Bill Clinton to show up.
Yeah, we never really went back to that. That sucked. I didn't think about it, but that sucked actually. Why didn't we do that?
Well, I understand why we didn't do it.
No, we should have done
it. Well, we should have done it. All right. Okay, so after that, there's that cool fight scene in the kitchen. He gets his ass beat, and then he watches his wife get killed and his daughter get killed. Then he's all like, "What's going?" Oh, well, he wakes up in like a hospital, right?
Yeah, he's told he's been in a coma for a long time.
I thought the nurse was pretty cute.
Really? I feel like you're right about that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
There's a scene where he like gets all his like materials. It reminded me of that scene in Austin Powers where he gets like the penis pump.
Okay. There's got to be a lot of different movies. That's what you think of?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
I even thought about that when I got out of the mental hospital. They had all my shit in a safe and they gave it back to me, and I was like, it'd be funny if I had a penis pump.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, so what's the next big thing?
I don't know. That guy
there's a
from the
car
last movie
chase.
is back. Did we say
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, he's back with a beard.
Yeah,
And
with the beard.
they've got a big car chase. I thought the car chase was kind of well shot.
I agree. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Who's this Mariah Bonner? I like her, this actress.
Mariah Boner.
Mariah Boner, I should have said. Yeah, damn it.
Yeah.
Why did I do that?
I don't know who this actress is, but she's like, it was weird because at first she's like a stripper and like she knows him. And it's like, wow, I thought this dude was supposed to be like this great family man. Like even in the car chase, he's driving around in like a van, like a real family van kind of a situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it was setting him up as this like suburban dad. And I was like, so what was he do? Why did he know a stripper? What is
the past, the
what's he
Unisoul.
doing? But it turns out it's because he didn't have a family. So now he's just a Universal Soldier who hangs out with a stripper, and they're a dime a dozen.
Strippers?
No, Universal Soldiers that hang out with strippers.
Oh, okay. But this one was pretty special, I thought. I really enjoyed her. And she's in The Social Network. I had no idea about that.
Who'd she play?
Tori.
Who's that?
I don't know. There's a photo of her standing next to Justin Timberlake in the big Facebook office.
Oh, all right. Tori. I found her more like Bori in this movie.
Oh, I mean, she doesn't do much. She's really just like standing there the whole time.
She's just to have a girl there. You know, remember how much characterization we gave to the Ali Walker character in the
Yeah.
original? There's none of that here.
She doesn't do anything.
And every fucking female character has to be a stripper now.
Is that just a complaint in general,
No, I mean,
or
in
like
these
this
movies.
franchise?
Like we went into a strip club in that fourth one. Now we're
Yeah,
back, just stripping.
but we were with our reporter. We had like reporter. We had our lead.
Well, because
was a
that was
reporter.
supposed to be the Ali Walker character, but they couldn't get her, so they had to like rewrite it.
We've had more reporters than we have had strippers, I think,
Fair enough.
or at least
man.
we're tied 2-2.
2-2. All right. All right, we get some universal soldiers fucking in this one.
Yeah, is that the penis that we mentioned?
Yeah, we see that penis, we see some pubes,
Yeah.
and this is where we see Dolph Lundgren for the first time too. And see, the thing I liked about Dolph in this one versus the last one is he's at least a little unhinged in this one, because you remember his character in the first one was making severed ear puns.
Yeah. At least 3 times he did it.
Yeah, when he came back for Regeneration, it didn't feel like that guy would ever make a severed ear pun. But while we don't see any new severed ear puns or hear any new ones, I do feel like the version of him he's playing in this one would at least be doing that.
I agree with that. We got our main man back.
Yeah,
Severed ear guy.
Dolph's back on top in this one, I think.
Yeah, MVP Dolph.
They also do this like effect where like sometimes like they do these very quick flashes.
Oh God, yeah.
Where,
I
like-
thought somebody could have had a seizure. Like
I really thought that. Like if an epileptic watched this movie, they're dead.
seriously. We're not kidding.
Like I was kind of having a bad reaction to it, and that shit doesn't bother me.
No, I had to look away. There were like
Yeah.
2 instances I had to look away.
Remember, people were like, "Yo, the Pokemon, they're bad. Like if you watch that, they'll fucking kill you. You have an epileptic seizure." I've watched a lot of Pokemon in my day. None of that shit ever affected me like this.
I remember a big thing about the Incredibles 2 was like the bad guy does like this like seizure thing. It might give you a seizure, like the power that it has. You remember what I'm talking about?
Not really.
It has like some like weird effect where it goes like black and white, like this movie.
Huh. All right.
Yeah. I forgot what that bad guy was called.
Anyway, I mean, I'm not saying like you can't do this in a movie. I'm just saying it wasn't pleasant to watch for me.
Yeah, really, they do it too long and too often. Happens a bunch of times.
Yeah, and it's always you get to see JCVD at the end of it. That's like the reward. Like if you sit through all this fucking shit that's gonna hurt your brain, like you get to see Jean-Claude.
It was kind of worth it.
It always is, baby. All right. So I don't know. He like gets some information. Right. There's like a surveillance footage where it's like he killed his friend, but then it turns out there's just like more than one of him.
Yeah, right. And then we fight in like a
Every
Like
time
a-
we think this character is gonna like get interesting or something, like his family died, he murdered his friend. They're just always like, no, here's the twist. That didn't happen. And I'm like, all right.
cool. Yeah. I don't know. I like the showdown in the Dick's Sporting Goods though. That was cool.
There was a
Like,
showdown in a Dick's Sporting Goods.
It wasn't specifically Dick's Sporting Goods, like product placement, but it was like a sporting.
Oh,
goods
this
store.
was with Andre Arlov. No. Oh,
Magnus,
this is
yeah.
when he runs into second him, right?
No. We fight big guy Magnus,
Oh, all right.
Andre Arlovsky.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, pretty good.
There's a
But-
good fight on Angel in a sporting goods store. We'll get there.
No.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's so cool.
All right.
I always think about the Dead Rising video game where you play in a mall. I always love going in the sporting goods store. You can play with like tennis rackets and golf clubs and bowling balls and frisbees and stuff.
I wonder where they
Great
got
time.
the idea to put a zombie video game in a mall.
I don't know.
Very
I wonder.
unique concept.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Um.
Or that 2004 movie, Dawn of the Dead, probably.
Oh yeah, right. The Ving Rhames one.
Bing Rames, who calls it that?
I do.
Okay, all right.
All right, so we he goes up a river. I also thought that was Aping Apocalypse Now, right?
Up a river apart. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
It reminded me of Rambo 4.
Is that the last one?
No, the second to last one.
That wait, this is the one with Darla?
Yes, with Darla.
Okay, yeah.
And he goes to see the doctors, and they're like, "You're a newborn. You haven't existed that long. Everything you think you've done that's bad was done by another you. There's a bunch of you," and that sort of drives him nuts, and he decides to join the separatist movement. But first, he like kills all the Universal Soldiers, so now he's like captain of nothing.
He is, yeah. And I like his motivation actually, how he goes to the guy and he's like he kills him because he killed his family. And he's like, I didn't kill you didn't even have a family. But he kills him because he killed the memories of his fake family, which I thought was actually kind of sweet.
Well,
Pretty
he
deep.
wouldn't even know the family, right? This guy created the
Yeah, he said, I
family in
no,
his
I didn't kill him. I
brain.
created your family. Did
So,
you a
but if
solid.
you created them, then I never would have had to live with the memory of this loss if they never
Right.
existed in the first place in my brain.
But then it's like eternal sunshine stuff. Like it's better to have the memories, even though they're sad, right?
Yeah.
It's better to have them than not have them, not have the experience, probably. But pretty deep stuff.
But is that true? Like, none of it ever happened?
But it's like the Harry Potter thing. I feel like I talk
The
about this all the
pensieve?
time. No, the thing at the end where he talks to Dumbledore in heaven or whatever, and Dumbledore's like, just because it didn't happen doesn't mean it's not real. Like it's in your mind, therefore it did happen because you know it, you have knowledge of it, so it is real.
I just feel like that's like therapy shit to like get
Yeah, it's
somebody
pretty.
who's dealt with a situation like this to not kill themselves.
Yeah, it's like a form of religion or something.
Yeah. Well, that kind of it had that vibe, like the separatist group in this movie, like almost like the Universal Soldiers had formed their own religion, and Jean-Claude was their god.
Oh, I'm so tired. Oh my god. Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, I'm good. What do you want? What do you give it?
I will give it. We said a two. We'll go two.
Yeah, I'm definitely giving this a 2.
Yeah, better than the last one. MVP. I'm going Dolph Lundgren.
Me too.
Awesome. What? By the way, why do we never have Dolph Lundgren versus Dolph Ziggler in a
Oh, that would be
movie?
great. Yeah, you don't think Dolph Lundgren would do like a WWE release? It's
I
too
bet he
late
would.
now. It's too
Probably
late now,
has.
man. Ziggler's been released.
Oh shit. Where is he anywhere else, or he's just no
Yeah,
man's
he's
land?
been wrestling in TNA.
Oh, that's sad. Um,
It's all right. Got a
it's not.
title shot.
It's not even one of the top two companies.
Yeah, but they
We'll
weren't
never
even
talk about
using him.
that.
We will. We're gonna talk about
Well, all
TNA.
right, but not like
Not
now. We're
this
not going to talk
era.
about this. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
that's sad.
Um, it is sad. Sorry to see, but he's old at this point.
Can't be that. Like we're talking about Sergeant Slaughter and stuff these days.
Yeah, but he's at that stage where it's more about putting over other wrestlers than putting yours. We need
Oh,
to
that's
talk
cool.
about this on a different
Yeah,
podcast.
I
It's called
guess.
the
Well,
Sunday
we
Night
never
War.
will. We'll never talk about Dolph Ziggler's TNA
Yes,
run, probably.
we'll talk
Dolph
about Dolph
Ziggler's
Ziggler
TNA
though.
run? Not in the TNA though.
No, but we can talk about his career.
I love to, yeah. I love Dolph Ziggler.
Me too. Zigzag, baby.
Hell yeah.
Um, all right. Who's
Uh,
your LVP?
is it the lead?
Yeah, for me, for
He's
sure.
he's the least valuable. With somebody else, this is honestly a way more compelling movie.
You're right.
Like put Matt
Like
Damon in the movie.
he's a British dude. Like you said, if this is Statham,
Yeah.
this
It's actually
movie
pretty
goes
good.
up a full star.
A full stop. We're not kidding. Yeah. He's that
Yeah.
bad. He takes it down to a two when it
Yeah.
could be a three, legitimately.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. People, I don't want to say people are that like people that liked it. I'm not giving you too much shit. There's enough to hold on to here, but a lot of like the twists and turns. We don't care. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What are you apologizing for? It's whatever. Ross
I
texted
know.
me during this episode
Same.
and he said, "Did you enjoy 5 and 6? I feel like I'm either going to be praised or roasted." I feel like it's neither. Like you're all right. Like this was an interesting franchise to do. It was probably one we should have gotten around to eventually. But
And
like,
it's not like this is his number one. Like he's having to pick of the franchises we haven't covered yet. You know, it's not like this is his favorite franchise ever. He's asking us to cover, or maybe it
yeah,
is.
I don't know. All I'm saying is I thought the reward at the end was going to be the sixth one, and it wasn't quite that.
Yeah, maybe he shouldn't have hyped it up that way.
Yeah, maybe. Should have let us discover it on our own.
But it was worth it, honestly, for the first one. I'm glad I watched the first one.